back. So back to what I was saying. It is not enough. This is my hometown where I grew up primarily. It is not enough for me to just move to a separate place in the same city or town. It is not. Like, I need to be somewhere else. I appreciate everybody that has purchased my book and has supported me throughout that journey. One thing about receiving the royalties from that, I can't, it works a little differently. I don't see the money from that for like weeks or months, because there's a pay schedule for royalties when it comes to stuff like that through Amazon. So if you want to be able to directly support what it is that I'm doing and make things a little bit more expedited, I have created a flow page, which is now attached in my bio on Instagram, that has my Cash App and my Venmo in there. And I am also, promoting the other content that I have available on there as well, like the YouTube page that I have, Patreon. I'm still working on updating my merch and doing a little bit more with that. But I may switch over to a different supplier, because I've had some issues with Teespring. That's where this, even though it's kind of falling apart. It's not falling apart, but I mean, it's kind of been through it here a little while. It's starting to peel off a little bit. But this is like my first time doing this, and it's over a year old. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that has been following and is really here for me and appreciates what it is that I'm doing. I don't come on here asking for no handouts. I don't do that. That's not my thing. That's not my style. But I am doing a pause for the cause, because in order for me to be at an ideal place, to be in a better space where I can really give back and be of service to others, I have to make sure that I'm good first. And I don't want people to assume like, well, you seem like you're happy, or I've trained myself to be brave, and I've trained myself to compartmentalize things and to not operate out of fear or lack. And that takes a lot of time. And I'm just still noticing, like, this ain't it. This is not it. I'm having a hard time getting out of this situation. I do not have support from my family. And I'm okay with that. Like, I've made my peace with not having the relationships that I want to have with people, and things not being able to move forward and things of that nature. I'm okay with that part. I'm not hung up on that. What has got me is I'm in a financial bind presently where I'm not able to relocate, and I'm seeking support and resources in order to do that for me and my children and my 2 cats. I've had to purge a lot of stuff. I've gotten rid of a lot of things and donated a lot of things to minimize, you know, how much we're having to move so that it's easier. And I'm used to that because that I've done it so many times. So many times I've had to walk away from everything. The clothes on my back and what I could fit in my vehicle. I love what I do. I love creating. I love using my gifts for good and being an inspiration for other people and just having fun, because this stuff is fun for me. Like 7, 8 years ago, I was a different person. Gosh, I wasn't doing most of the stuff that I'm doing now. I wasn't being my true self then. And what I was trying to share on my reel, when I was sharing part of my story about my recovery from alcohol, was that part of my journey with my sobriety is how I lost a lot of things, and I started going to AA, and that, like, how AA had saved me, basically. I've never had a relapse, nothing, because I had made up my mind that I was tired of being tired. And AA taught me that I had the mental capacity to change my mind and to do something different. And there were very, like, supportive people there who understood it and got it. They know how it is to struggle, what that feels like, what that looks like. Even though everybody's story is different, like the disease itself is it's a cycle. So anyway, I've never been more creative and felt more free and felt more empowered in my life, because I knew, like, once I had overcame that addiction, and I now know how it feels. I have 7+ years now of being alcohol free. Now I know how that feels and what that looks like, because in the beginning I was so afraid of, like, I don't know how that's going to look. I don't know what that means for me, because I got so accustomed to using alcohol as a band-aid to cope with the pain. Now that I know how that looks, like, I'm so surprised. I'm so happy for myself, because I made it to the other side. And I survived. A lot of people don't. So I changed my environments. I changed the people that I was hanging around. I did a lot of things so that I could have better soil. And this is what I'm talking about. Of not subjecting myself back into, like, I literally only came back to this house because in my mind, 2 years ago, I felt like, well, where else am I going to go? This is the safest place for me to be and for my children to be. And at the time, that might have been the best case scenario. I was doing the best that I could at that time. But I know that there's more than this. And I truly believe that the longer that I keep myself here, the harder it's going to be. I'm not going to keep rambling on and on and on about different things. I'm trying to stay on topic. Even if you cannot help or support, that is okay. If you like this video, that is doing a lot. If you can share the video, that is doing something. I am a human being just like everybody else. And although people look online and see one thing, people also need to realize this is the internet. And the internet is mostly fake. It is mostly not as it appears. And I'm only showing people what I want them to see, like everybody else. A lot of people are not going to get online on a camera and be transparent and show the real them, because it is hard. I'm not going to act like it's easy to get up here and do these type of talks, because it's not. But the more that I do it, the easier it gets for me to not be so afraid of just saying what it is, because that is my nature, to be more direct and blunt with things. You know, I don't like sugarcoating or beating around the bush with a lot of stuff. But I don't use this platform to make it a soapbox of me just complaining and whining and crying about this, that, and the other either. I work very hard, and I have been working very hard for a long time. And now I'm asking for some support. Yes, I'm asking for some help, because I am recognizing that I can probably get more done if I am not so closed off from people who could potentially help me. Because there may be one person that sees this and says, I have a solution for this, or I know somebody, or whatever. And had I not said anything, it's a lesson for me to be more willing to ask for help. And accept help when it is offered to you. Because I know not everybody is out to get me. I know that. I still do believe that there are good people. I want to get to a better place where I can support myself and my family financially, independently, and be able to get back to making fun content and being able to use my gifts. Freely and not feel like I'm constantly being subjected to these very, very unhealthy and dysfunctional cycles that I'm surrounded by because of the environment that I'm in and the environment that my children are in. So I'm going to keep playing this message, posting these little clips, whatever I can. As far as like other things are going to come to a stop until this changes, until something gives. That is a big part of like why I'm so okay with deleting all the stuff off of my Instagram or not following people. I'm following somebody one minute and then the next minute I'm not following them, because change is constant. And I never want to get so deep into one way of being or thinking, or I've never been able to just be comfortable with how things are. And so I'm always constantly like trying to change it up and switch it up into something else, and not getting too attached to a person, place, or thing, because everything and everybody is constantly changing and evolving and transforming, which is good. Like, we're supposed to do that. But that's also including myself too. That's including you. So that's my own way of like training myself to observe, maybe inspired by something, but don't get too attached to it, because it's all fleeting. It's all here for a moment, and then it's on to something else. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and I really do appreciate if you've made it this far in the video. I know this is probably pretty long. There are other videos to come. I'm getting better about getting on here and talking about stuff and not holding stuff in for so long, so that I can make more space for other things. And there are other topics, other content that I want to get into, but I really am gonna hold off on things until, like I said, until something is different, something changes where I'm in a different space, a different environment, surrounded by the support that I need, because I'm tired. I'm very tired. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, for listening. And I guess until next time.